kind of puzzles are we speaking about? One of the most important types of puzzles is what we call a table-based puzzle. It means that they're going to give you a lot of information, and as a candidate, your task is to take up this information and fill it up the table. Sometimes, if you have a lot of information, the table will be filled completely. Some other times, if there's not enough information, the table might not be filled completely, but the questions might give you extra information. So what is the underlying logic in this class? Whatever data they give, you need to convert it into a table. After converting into a table, we need to check out how to get the answers. Today we'll take over 3 or 4 puzzles during which you will be able to understand the skill in great detail. Let's get started with the first puzzle here. Okay, in this puzzle there are 5 students. There are names given, but do not ever waste your time trying to read the names. I'll call them S, R, N, M, and V. They have 5 books on subjects physics, chemistry, mathematics, biology, and English. So we have 5 books written by 5 different authors. So if I look at it, there is a book. One person wrote the book, one more person right now purchased and owns the book. So on the one hand we have students, then we have books, and then we have authors. What we are trying to do is to do a matching. So how would the table look? Whenever you read a puzzle like this, in your mind you need to start framing out a table structure. They are giving us information. How can I put that information? One of the ways of doing it for a question like this is to put it in 3 columns. The first column is student, second column is a book, the third column is the author. Let's go ahead, draw the table before we read the extra data. So here we're looking at student, book, or rather subject. And the last column that we have is the author. What are we supposed to do? We need to fill this. How many books do we have? We only have 5 books, which means overall we'll only have 5 rows of information here. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. But initially we might not know some of the matchings. So there is a possibility that we might initially write some duplicate information and then cross them out or merge 2 of the rows. Be prepared to do that. So each student has only 1 book on one of the 5 subjects is okay. Gupta is the author of the physics book. This is what I call positive information, because immediately I can go back to our table and say, okay, Gupta is the author, where the subject is physics. Now, what do we call this? We call positive information because it allows us to fill something directly in the table. Now, this book is not owned by. This is what I call negative information. This book is not owned by Vinay or Sujit. Who owns it? I still do not know. What I know is that it is not Vinay and it is not Sujit. This is a kind of information that we say is negative information. Why is it negative? Because it does not allow me to write down anything directly. So here we should say this is not Vinay. So I'll write Vinay bar. When I write Vinay bar in a puzzle, it means it is not Vinay, negation of Vinay, and not Sujit for this particular cell. This is the data given in that particular hint. We need to fill 5 such rows completely, 10 cells. Let us check more. Mihir owns the book written by Edwin. Now, is it positive information? Yes. So we can say Mihir is here. He owns the book written by Edwin. Is it on physics? No. Because each book here, it's mentioned that they have only one author. For the physics book, the author is Gupta. What I also know is that because this is not a physics book, Mihir will not own the physics book. So even Mihir will not come in the first row. So what are the options that we have for the first row? We have originally 5 students. Who are they? Sujit, Ranveer, Meena, Mihir and Vinay. Out of which Sujit, if I look at it, Sujit does not own the book. Vinay does not own this book. And now we realize that even Mihir does not own the book. So that leaves us with Ranveer and Meena, R and N. So the information that we know is that this part should be filled by either R or N. Here for this particular guy Mihir, there are 4 possible subjects, only any subject other than physics. So we will not try to write the options right now. We will slowly do it as we go along. Means a math book. Okay, now is this positive again? Yes. Now, is it one of the existing rows? No, because there is no row where subject and person both are present. So we'll say Meena is here. This person has to own the math book. So if Meena also can't come in the first row because Meena is already here, that leaves us only Ranveer for this first row. Originally we had 5 choices. The puzzle said 2 of these people cannot come. That may left us with 3 choices. Then we said, okay, Mihir cannot come because he is doing something else. Neena cannot come, that she is doing something else. That reduces our possibilities. And finally we said, okay, this guy has to be Ranveer. So that leaves us with 2 more people, Vinay and Sujit. Vinay has an English book. This is again positive. So let us go ahead and write it. So Vinay and many pieces in the puzzle. Let us check out what we know. Vinay has an English book which is not written by Khanna. Okay, so this guy is not Khanna. So 2 of the authors are Gupta and Edwin. Let us check out who are the other authors. We have Khanna, Harish, D'Souza. Then Khanna, Harish, and D'Souza. Eventually, these 3 cells here will need to be filled by these 3 names. This is going to be somewhat like a Sudoku puzzle. Similarly, for the subjects, math, physics, and English have been written down. So the other 2 subjects are chemistry and biology. Let's also write them. We need to somehow assign these 2 as well, chemistry, biology. If we can write these 5 entities into these 5 cells, our puzzle is over. Is there any more hints? Yep. The biology book is written by D'Souza. We should always look for the positive information first. So let's go ahead and write it. The biology book is written by D'Souza. So can this be a biology book? No, because this book has been written by Edwin. In out of the 5 rows, in 4 of the places, we cannot write biology because in 3 places subject is fixed, in 1 place author is fixed. So the biology has to come here. We don't have a choice. So this is a biology book. That leaves us with 1 more subject. If biology is over, for the remaining subject, we only have chemistry. So we can write this as chemistry. Now we only have D'Souza is also done. So we only have 2 others, Khanna and Harish. It's already mentioned that English book was not written by Khanna. So this has to be written by Harish. So the remaining place here has to be taken by Khanna. Because we can fill up this information in the form of a table, we call this a table-based puzzle. So whatever paragraph that they give, finally we have converted all those hints into a nice table here. If you want, we can, in the exam, you can quickly check whether this table is containing all the information given there. There are 5 students. Yes, we had five books on 5 subjects written by various authors. Each student has only one book on one of the 5 subjects. That's also valid. Gupta is the author of physics book. Okay, physics book is written by Gupta. It is not owned by Binay or Sujit because owned by Randir. This is also correct. Mihir owns a book written by Edwin. That's correct. Mihir, Edwin. Nina owns the math. Nina and the math book is right. Vinay has an English book not written by Khanna. Vinay, English, Harish, so that's also valid. Biology book was written by D'Souza. This is again valid. Once you get this table, we can look at the questions. Which of the following is the correct combination? Maths, Nina, Harish, is it right? Let's check. No, math book was written by Khanna. Physics, Mihir Gupta, is this correct? No, Mihir has a chemistry book. English, Vinay, Edwin. No, Edwin wrote a chemistry book. Then biology, Sujit and D'Souza. Yes, biology, Sujit and D'Souza. This is the correct combination. Once you get the table right, this is going to be the easy part. Later on, I'm going to show you one more kind of a puzzle where after writing the table, there might be some small hurdles remaining. Who is the author of the chemistry book? Now here we are very clear in this particular puzzle, the chemistry book is written by Edwin. So we can go ahead and mark the answer. So who is the author of the chemistry book? Edwin only. Sometimes if the table is not completely filled, we'll say, okay, this guy or that other guy, we don't know. So who is the owner of the book written by Harish? Let's go back to our table again. The book written by Harish is the English book, which is now owned by Vinay. So who owns the book written by Harish? The answer is Vinay. Okay. Now let us check out one more puzzle. In the previous puzzle, the entire focus was on how to write a table. After that, we didn't do anything more. Let us see what the next puzzle holds for us. So P, Q, R, S, T and U are 6 teachers in a school teaching a different subject, not necessarily in the same order. So what are subjects? Math, physics, chemistry, biology, English and history. So 6 teachers, 6 subjects. And each person is teaching one subject and a different subject. So how many physics teachers are there? There's only one physics teacher in this puzzle because they mention that each teacher is teaching a different subject. There are 2 male and 4 female teachers. Okay, now we have a lot of data coming in, but what kind of information do we have? We need to find the name of the teacher, that is for sure. We definitely need to know which subject. The names here are going to be PQRSTU. There's a teacher. We also have a concept of gender of the teacher because it's given. Then we also have the age in terms of highest, youngest, etc. So now we have 4 parameters. In the previous puzzle, we had only 3 parameters: the name, the subject, and the author. Here we have 4 parameters. In addition, age is a parameter where you are saying highest, lowest, or youngest, oldest. Whereas in the previous one, this is a direct assignment problem. This is going to be slightly more difficult than the previous puzzle. So let us go ahead and see how do we take it up. So who are the people we have? P, Q, R, S, T, U. Sometimes we might want to just lock out one of the columns so that it would reduce the effort required overall. So we have already wrote the names of the people. So I still need to write which subject do they teach, what is the gender, and then you will say age rank. What's the meaning of age rank? Uh, Age, let's say highest to lowest. So let's go ahead and take up this again. Let us first focus on the positive information. Q teaches history. Positive. If Q teaches history. No teaches biology or mathematics. This is negative information, so we'll use it later. This is already done, so we cross it out. S who teaches chemistry is the oldest. That's good. Let's go ahead and write it. S teaches chemistry. Is the oldest. So first oldest we will say old one. What does it mean? She's first rank in the oldest category. There is no youngest category. Oldest category 1 to 6 would be our ranking. P is older than R and it teaches physics. So there are two pieces of information here. First is P is older than R and second is P teaches physics. So P teaches physics is one information. So we can say P is older than R. Here this is about age. We already know that S is highest. So P is older than R and teaches physics. We wrote this out. S who teaches chemistry is the oldest. We already wrote this out. The youngest teaches biology and U is not the youngest. So how many people are there? 6 people. The youngest teaches biology and U is not the youngest. So U, there's somebody after U. Who could it be? It could be R, I don't know. But there's still a lot of information missing, even though we are now reading the last piece. Let's go ahead and read. The youngest teaches biology. Who is the youngest? We do not know, unfortunately. It could be R, but we still do not know. But what we know is T teaches mathematics and is older than P but younger than Q and U. This is very good information. T teaches mathematics. First, let's go ahead and write it. T teaches mathematics. So mathematics is done, physics is done, chemistry is done, history is done, which leaves us with English, biology as the two subjects. And for these, the two people are R and U, but I don't know who teaches what. The youngest teaches biology and U is not the youngest, which means U does not teach biology. Whoever teaches biology is the youngest person and U is not youngest. So U will not be able to teach biology. R has to teach biology. R teaches biology, which means U has to teach English. Now this is still only a small part. We have a lot more information regarding the ages. But before we go to ages, shall we have a look at the gender problem once? There are 2 male teachers and 4 female teachers. No female teacher teaches biology and mathematics. So who teaches them? They need to be taught by the male teachers, biology and mathematics. So biology is being taught by a male teacher Mathematics is also being taught by a male teacher. And there are only two male teachers. All the other teachers have to be female. So three of the columns are completely filled. We just need to arrange the ages in the ascending order or in a sequential order and we're done. T is older than P, but younger than Q and U. It is older than, but younger than Q and U. So obviously U cannot be the youngest. So where do we have? Q and U are the are definitely older than P. Who is older than P? Now look at it. S is also older than P. Who is younger than R? So among all these people, who is the youngest? R. Let's go ahead and write person as old 6. So who is the oldest person? That is something we still do not know. So Q and U, both of them are older than P, but I don't know who among these two is older. Similarly, S is older than P, but I don't even know whether S is more than P or less than P. So we still have some information pending. Sometimes we might not even get that. Let's read the puzzle and see if we have any chance. The youngest teaches biology and U is not the youngest. S who teaches chemistry is the oldest. P is older than R and teaches physics. But this is all that we have. So here we have a table which is in some sense incomplete. I know who is the oldest person. I know who is the youngest person. Who is the second youngest person? I know that at least one, two, one, two, three, four. Four people are older than P. So P has only fifth rank. So P can be old 5. So these places are something that we are meant to fix. What do we know? That S is the oldest, R is the youngest, P is the second youngest. We don't know who is older among Q and U, but we also already know that P is next. So we can say old 4 is T, but we do not know who is the second and who is the third. These two places, we know Q and U are the people to be present there, but I don't know who among them is older, which is still good enough. We had a lot of data. So let us see if we can use this information and solve the puzzle. So which of the following is a group of females? We already have a clear data on who are male and who are female here. So this should be straightforward. The females are P, Q, S and U. P, Q, S and U. That's the fourth option that we have here. It's directly in the table. P is female, Q is female, S is female and U is female. Let's check out if we have something tougher coming up. If all the teachers are arranged in the descending order of their ages, the position of two male teachers respectively. So what they told is they're going to write the people as A, B, C, D, E, F. This person is the oldest. Here is the youngest. What happens to the two male teachers? Let us first write down the letters in some order. The oldest is the S and the other side are P, P, R. S should be here. P, P, R. Then who are the male teachers that we have? As per the table, R and T are the male teachers. So this is one male teacher and the other male teacher. These two positions I know are occupied by the two other ladies, but the question is only about the male teachers. So the places occupied by them are D and F. Now this is straightforward. Once we have the table, and as mentioned, today's class, every single puzzle that we see, we will have a table, and everything is based around getting the table built correctly. So here we have a third question: who teaches biology? This is something that we answered earlier. This should be person R or teacher R. So who teaches biology is R. Here we have one more puzzle. This time around we're looking at a much longer puzzle. The two puzzles that we solved till now look small in comparison. See, this is how many hints we have. So what we need to do is first identify what are the parameters. How many parameters are we looking at? In the first puzzle we had 5 students. In the next puzzle we had, that is one change in the situation. Second, there are only 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Only, and it teaches only one subject. It means for all the subjects, for first five teachers, we can give them 5 subjects. But after that, for the last 2 teachers, they need to repeat the same subject that somebody else is teaching. 2 teachers each did, each teach physics and chemistry. Now we have A, B, C, D, F. The names of teachers in one column, the subject in a second column. Remember, in the second column, we can have more than one teacher. And now we had a new parameter, cleared some particular exam UGC net. So that's the third column. Then we have females married. So we are now getting a lot more information. The number of columns is suddenly very high. So we need to be very careful in terms of how we're going to organize it. So let's start by listing out the various columns. The first column that we decided is name. A, B, C, D, E. So A, B, C, D, E, F. We have more people, right? And G. So these are the names. The more easy column to fill because we don't need to match each other. The next thing that we need to fill is subject. Then we have to know whether they are married or not. Then we have gender. Then we have UGC net. What else do we have? Whether they are married or not. However, there's a PTA Executive Council. PTA Executive Council. They give the big names just to make sure that we feel bad. So don't feel bad. And some class teachers. See how many pieces of information they are trying to squeeze into this. With a one-point agenda to confuse us. So if we're careful enough, we should not have the issue. So there are class teachers and subject teachers. And now let us start again. They teach one of the following subjects. Both the chemistry teachers and one from zoology and math have cleared the UGC net. But because we do not know who are they, we are not in a position to write the story. 4 teachers are female, B, C, F, and G. Write it down. B, C, D, B is female, C is female, F is female, G is female. The others are all male. So, thankfully, one column is done. 4 teachers are, of which 2 are married. 2 teachers are member of the PTA council, of which only one is a male. However, none of them are married. All married teachers except one are class teachers of one class or the other. There are 4 married teachers, A, B, C, D, and F. Did you notice that I'm reading a lot of information and I'm skipping it because I realized that information is so difficult I don't know what to do with it. Sometimes we will need to skip it and find out some information that we can actually use. There are 4 married teachers, A, B, C, D, and F. This is actually very useful information. So let's go ahead and write it. Who are the married teachers? A, B, D, F. Let's go ahead and write that. Is A married? Yes. B is married. D is married. F is married. The others are not married. Now things are a little better for us. They mentioned something more that we can use. 4 teachers are female, out of them 2 are married. B, C, F, G, out of them 2 are married. Is that correct? D is married. C is not married. F is married. And G is not married. So yeah, out of B, C, F, G, out of the 4 female teachers, 2 of them are married and 2 of them are unmarried. 2 teachers are members of the PTA council. Out of what? So this is a separate piece of information. However, none of the married teachers are its members. There are 2 teachers who are members of the PTA executive council, out of which only one is a male. And none of the married teachers are its members. So the PTA council should be about unmarried teachers, first of all. Who are the unmarried teachers that we have? C, E, and G. So look at it. C is an unmarried female teacher. E is male. G, we wrote it incorrectly. We know that there are a list of female teachers altogether. B, C, F, G. So G should have been written as female. So we have, out of the unmarried teachers, we have 2 female teachers, that is C and G, and we have 1 male unmarried teacher. So why am I so particular? The PTA Executive Council has only 2 people. Both of them are unmarried and one of them is a male. Because I have only 1 male unmarried person, he has to be a member of the PTA Council. The other male members cannot be part of the PTA Council. So that is to do with the male members. Now, among the female members, the married people cannot be part of the PTA Council. So of the PTA council, there are only there's only one more person left. It should either go to C or it should go to G. So this is one potential area, this is the other potential area, out of which only one person can be selected. How do I know? That's because the PTA council only has 2 people, one male, one female, and both of them are unmarried. Now this has given us some way forward. The big problem still remains, we don't know the subject. Let us now see if we have any positive information to fill the way we have been filling till now. all the married teachers except one are class teachers of one class or the other, but I still don't know how to use it. Mm, Excuse me, friends. Sorry, friends, I had to curtail some disturbance. None of the married women teachers have cleared the UGC net. This actually is a positive information because I can go ahead and write it down. So for UGC net, for married women teachers, I can say none of them cleared the UGC net. So married women teachers, this person did not clear the UGC net. Married female, so she did not clear the UGC net. Does it mean that all the others cleared? No. It means we don't know about the rest. The information that we know is the married female teachers did not clear the UGC net. We'll go ahead and only use that much. Two male teachers have cleared the net, out of which one is married. So let us look at UGC net and the male. Overall, there are three male teachers, out of which two cleared. One of them is married, the other is unmarried. The married male teacher, we have A, we have B. Both of these are married male teachers. And we have one unmarried male teacher, which is who is E. So who cleared the UGC net? One married male teacher, which means one of these two people, E, A and D, cleared the UGC net. I don't know whether it is A or, but one of them cleared it. But I also know that E cleared it, so let's go ahead and put in a tick. Whoever has cleared the UGC net among it, that is Mr. A. Out of which one is married, he is Mr. A. So directly I know that Mr. A has cleared the UGC. But he did not clear. And he is a subject teacher. He is not a class teacher, he is a subject teacher. And he teaches botany or zoology. That's also mentioned here. He is not from the PCM stream, he teaches botany or zoology. So let's go ahead and write it as B slash Z. This is still not good news for us because I need exactly one piece in that particular row. I have a huge table. We have what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 columns, 7 rows, 49 cells. We might have filled about a little more than half. But let's try harder and we should be able to finish this. The PTA members are not from exclusive PCM or PCB batch. Means should have a recognition of both. And both the teachers are subject teachers and are not class teachers. Okay, we might be able to use at least one way. The PTA person we have one. The other one has to be between C and G, and that person also happens to be a subject teacher, not a class teacher. But we still don't know who that person is. PTA members teach the same subject. Brilliant. This for me is an important. But more than that, only Mrs. G teaches botany. Isn't that beautiful? Shall we go ahead and write it? Okay, B is botany. Now, he has not been part of our discussion in terms of being uh, a class teacher or anything, but we have one more quiz. G is a class teacher. Let's go ahead and write it. G is how many class teachers do we totally have? The three subject teachers and the others are class. So we need to get third subject teacher also. And suddenly I know that the third subject teacher is a person who has to be part of the PTA executive council. Now for PTA executive council, we only have two options. Who are they? C or G. We know that none of them, whoever happens to be PTA executive council member, cannot be this class. So he has to be a subject teacher. Where is it? The PTA members are not exclusive from this. Both the teachers are subject teachers and are not class teachers. So look at the information we have. Out of the possibilities we have, this person G is a class teacher, so not be a PTA member. So C has to be a PTA council member. Which means C goes there. We need to get a total of three subject teachers, and we got them. So the rest of all happens to be class teachers. So we had successfully managed to fill the last two columns. This column is done. This column is done. The first column anyway was done initially. These two columns are also done. With a little more effort, we need to fill the UGC column and finally the subject column. For the subject column, let us look at A again. There's only one botany teacher and the person is B. A has to teach botany or zoology, out of which botany is not available. This has to be zoology. That leaves us with 5 people. A little more focus, we should be able to get this. Is it a difficult problem? Definitely so. But can you manage it? In the exam, if they give you 5 marks for this, of course you can manage. And whatever we are doing here, in terms of crossing the negative information, in terms of putting everything together, is going to be constant wherever you go. Now let us take up what is the last piece of information about UGC net. None of the women teachers have managed to clear the UGC net. Two male teachers have cleared the net, out of which one is married, and he is Mr. A. The other one did not finish. The PTA members are not exclusively from PCM or PCD, and they teach the same subject. So which subject can they teach? They need to teach subject which is common to both these. It has to be either physics or chemistry. Both the PTA members should they teach the same subject. That's interesting. So who are the PTA members that we notice? C and E. C and E both should teach the same subject, which means either both physics or both chemistry. They don't teach botany, zoology, or mathematics. So C as well as E should either both teach physics or both teach chemistry. C and E, either both physics or both chemistry, which means among the three people D, F, and G, two of them will teach other subject and one will teach mathematics. Let us check what more can we see. Let's start from the beginning again because this is something that we have possibly used already. Two teachers each teach physics and chemistry, that's nice. Both the chemistry teachers and one from zoology and math have cleared the UGC net. Now we have a lot more about UGC net. What do we know? Both the chemistry teachers and one from zoology and math cleared UGC net. Both the chemistry, one from zoology and math. So who are the people who cleared UGC net? We need to pick 4 people. means three of them did not clear the exam, and I already know who are the people who did not clear. So these two people should definitely clear the UGC. Okay, who are the people who cleared again? Two chemistry people, one zoology person, and one math person has cleared the UGC net. So let's go ahead and run. The zoology person has cleared the UGC net, already known. So out of the three other people, we need to get these two people, and these two are teaching chemistry. So let's go ahead. This person has to be chemistry. This person, both are same subject, so this should be chemistry. The other tick person here, this person has to teach mathematics. So that leaves us with two slots for the two physics tests. And that's how we take up the entire puzzle. The entire thing is done. We know the teachers, we know their subjects, we know whether they're married or not, we know the gender, we know whether they've cleared the UGC net, we know whether they're part of the PTA executive committee, whatever that's supposed to mean, we know whether they are class teachers or subject teachers. 7 people, all parameters done. Is it easy? I wouldn't say it's an easy puzzle, but this is definitely a useful puzzle. Now, how are we going to mark answers from this? Who among the following are the PTA members? Now we know this. PTA members are, the one tick is C, the other tick is E. So this answer should be C and E. So take up one more. What does G teach? Okay, G teaches mathematics. We also know that she is an unmarried female teacher who has already cleared UGC net and who is a class teacher. But yeah, what does she teach? She teaches maths. Who is the male class teacher? Okay, that's interesting. I need to look at the male class teacher. The first guy, A, is subject teacher, B is male class teacher, and that's it. So this has to be D being the male class teacher. Which of the following combinations is correct? A is actually from zoology, we remember, so this is wrong. B, botany is correct. Married and net not clear. Let's check. B. B is married, net not clear. So B should be right. B, net not cleared, married, and botany. If you want, we can check the others as well. C, net cleared, married, chemistry. C, chemistry, net cleared, but not married. So C is wrong. Likewise, we should be able to rule out the other options as well. And here is the last question. Which of the following combinations is incorrect? Okay. In the exam, if we were to see a question like this, we might actually be able to use this to fill half the puzzle, because out of the 5 things here, 4 of them are right. If we know what is wrong, we could be actually filling up the entire puzzle. For example, we know A is correct, B is correct. So we could possibly use this information to get the answers. Now we have a little time for one more puzzle. Let us see if we can finish it. Otherwise, we will at least get a way forward before stopping for the day. Give me a minute, friends. A dealer sold 6 cars A, B, C, D year in a period of Monday to Saturday. One car on Tuesday. Car C was sold at least before three other cars. Totally six cars. It is at least before three other cars. If I look at Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, there should be at least three cars after C. So C should be among Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday. Because even if it is sold on Wednesday, it gets three other days: Thursday, Friday, Saturday for the other three cars. Car F was sold on Tuesday. That's good news. Now, for this, let us do a grid with the days of the week, because the logical order of the days of the week is already given in the real world. Say Monday to Saturday. We'll first write it out. So we'll say Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. We will try to understand which car goes where. This is actually going to be easier than the puzzle that we solved a little while ago. The first thing is told is car F is on Monday, Tuesday. Let's go ahead and write it as car F here. So the cars we have are A, B, C, D, E, F, out of which there are 5 cars left. Car C was sold before at least 3 cars. So I know car C Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday. Here I have C as a chance. I have C as a chance here. C can't be sold on Tuesday because Tuesday is already taken. Both B and E were sold at least before 1 car. What does it mean? It means they are not the last. So if you look at the last day, Saturday, it can't be B bar. It can't be E. It can't be C because C is also in the beginning of the week. It can't even be F because F is already sold on Tuesday. So that leaves us with only 2 options, A or T. For Saturday, D was sold immediately after car C. Now that's brilliant. So C is happening in the first part. Immediately after C, D is sold, which means D can't hold till Saturday. So Saturday has to be A. Now that's not the only part coming from this hint. I need 2 consecutive days such that on one day C will happen, on next day D will happen. If let us say D is sold on Monday, then on Tuesday D has to be sold. But do we have a vacancy on Tuesday? No. F is already sitting on Tuesday. So the possibility that we have is, if C is sold on Wednesday, then I can sell D on Thursday, consecutive days immediately after the problem is solved. So what is the important word here? Immediately after. If it says D is sold after C, then we do not know whether it is on the next day or maybe 2 days later. Now that leaves us with quite a few cells completed. A is done, C is done, D and F are done. A over, C over, D over. That leaves us with B and E. Now we have a state here saying at least 4 cars were sold after the car E. So E can't be in the last place here. E has to be in the beginning. So that means B should be here on Friday. Compared to the previous puzzles, this is actually a much easier puzzle because the number of parameters here is less. Which car on what day? That's it. The previous question, for example, we had 7 parameters and suddenly the problem was extremely complicated. Having said that, the table-based puzzles are particularly doable. How do you check in the exam? Check out how many entities are there. Are there 5 teachers, 6, 7, 8, 9? So that's one variable which is going to increase the complexity. The second thing to check out, see how many parameters are there. That's the second thing that will drive the complexity. In fact, more parameters is more headache. even if we have only 4 people. The third thing to check out, are there parameters where the value is repeated, for example, male and female, or two chemistry teachers, three chemistry teachers, because usually that would again add to the complexity of the question. Now let us see how to mark the answers for the table that we have already derived. So what's the data we have? EFCDDA. How many cars are sold after the car D? After D we have B and A, that is 2 cars. How many cars are sold before F? F was sold on Tuesday. So how many are sold before F? 1 car, that is E. Okay, friends, this brings us to the end of the session on table-based puzzles. Next week, same time when we meet, we will take up one more kind of puzzles, and the week after again a third type of puzzles, which would complete our sessions on logical reasoning. Do make sure that you are practicing these puzzles, because these are usually the kinds of questions that are asked in the various recruitment exams. Today in a recruitment test, they want to give you 4 or 5 at a stretch, and a puzzle is one of the most powerful ways of doing it. Until we meet again, this is Aditya Lanka from Conjura Online signing off. Thanks a lot for tuning in. Have a great day.